And Dominic joins us now, and he serves as the director of the movie, which was created to protect the really how much of heroes and how brave his grandparents were in the face of evil. Dominic, thanks so much for being with us today.
Thank you for having me.
Now, I'm really intrigued by this, about this story, because I had never heard about it before. And of Animals and Men is a powerful love story, really, of your grandparents' relationship and their relationship to humanity. As their grandson and the director of the Family Foundation, what has it been like for you to see this movie?
Oh, it was quite amazing, I would say. In the movie, there's unseen footage, which I never seen before, actually. Maybe somebody else has. But the fact that I, for the first time in my life, heard my grandfather's and grandmother's voices, because they passed away before I was born. And also my mother, which also passed away a few months ago. But see her being such a little child, 1 year old, lying in the bed. Well, it was quite amazing, quite emotional for me.
If you could talk about the movie a little bit, Dominic. It's the true story of the zookeeper's wife. Tell us a little bit about that and how they offered respite for all kinds of people seeking solace during this horrible time.
Well, my grandparents had the means to help people out of the ghetto, Warsaw Ghetto, during the World War II, and they smuggled people out of the ghetto and took them into the Warsaw Zoo, which wasn't operating at that time, and hid them until they could pass them on, or they could escape out of Warsaw and out of Poland.
So people don't realize the Warsaw ghettos at that point, it was just horrendous. And
Yes.
They bring them to the zoo. Were animals in the zoo? Was it, what was the whole?
No.
Huh? I'm sorry?
Actually, the animals weren't at the zoo because some of the animals was shot by German soldiers, and some of the animals were transported to Berlin Zoo. So the zoo was not operating as a zoo at that point. So people could hide in the animal cages and different places at the zoo which weren't occupied at that time.
What does it mean to you as the grandson to see this and to realize that they saved 300 lives?
First of all, 300 it's an estimate. There are really no documentation of how many. I heard there was a lot more some in some stories, but 300 is like an estimate, as I said. It's amazing. I feel deeply honored to have this history in my family, and I also, as a vice president of the Żabiński Foundation, is obligated to protect the legacy and spread and project legacy to the world.
You mentioned earlier, Dominic, too, sadly your mom passed away this year,
Yes.
but was actually born at the zookeeper's villa. Talk about that, what her life was like in being there, and then maybe just the example of your grandparents to her and how this movie can inspire so many other peoples to care for others.
Well, my mother often told me how she spent the time at the zoo with all the animals, and also with the animals inside the villa at the house. Monkeys, chimpanzees, different sorts of animals were just going around. Of course, after the World War, because she was born in 1944, and that was the year World War ended. But for me, having this legacy and having to tell the story to the world is an extreme opportunity to show people what human decency is really all about. What is the right thing to do when people need help? It's The movie shows a really heroic and really human decency example of people and what they should do when other people are in need. This is my belief. It should be that way.
I just think it's so courageous what they did. Why do you think they decided to really put their lives on the line to do this? Because some people might not. They literally put their lives on the line.
First of all, it began, well, they had the means to do so. So they began to smuggle their friends and acquaintances out of the Warsaw Ghetto. My grandfather was a member of the underground resistance also. And via the underground resistance, that the story spread that the Żabińskis could help people out. And that point, it was outgrown from their acquaintances to people that didn't know, just to have 1 day, 2 days of keeping safe, so they could get away and escape from Poland and escape from the Germans and escape with the life in their hands.
Well, as we mentioned, your grandparents, they provided refuge to protect life, yes, even with facing the death penalty if they got caught. Tell us how the Żabiński Foundation honors their virtue and ensures that we honor this virtue.
Well, first of all, it's all about education as we see it. So first of all, we are turning the villa into a museum, which it is now in some kind of way, but we are trying to make it more real and bring it back to its original state. And we're also building a museum in the Warsaw Zoo connected to the villa, which will be for educational reasons and showing the new generation, families and children, how to act when other people are in danger. We believe we cannot change the past, but we can do our best to form the future, so it becomes safe for everybody.
And Dominic, where can people learn more information and find more information about the foundation?
We have a very nice, easy to see website. It's on the www.żabińskifoundation.org. I know it can be kind of tough to learn how to write, but it's Żabiński Foundation with a Z .org. And I would like to invite everybody which would like to know what we are doing and how we are trying to help everybody else.
Well, Dominic, thank you so much for joining us all the way from Poland. Congratulations and have a great day.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me. Have a great day.